I just want to give you guys some ground rules. Please turn off your cell phones, have it on silent mode, and please give your undivided attention to the upcoming presenters. I am one of the moderators, as well as my other fellow moderators right here sitting in the front. And again, so just please give your undivided attention. I'm going to present my second moderator. Good.
Hi, I'm Lex. First presenting, we have Reynolds. She's from Costa College, and she's presenting on the LGBTQIA+ access.
Thank you, and welcome. So I am the LGBTQIA+ Access Fellow. And what that means is I have been hired by Costa College to do research in order to increase access for this community, specifically to Costa College. First and foremost, I'd like to go over the acronym. So it stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer questioning, intersex, asexual. And the plus refers to basically anyone who's not heterosexual or cisgender. Furthermore, cisgender can be defined as those whose gender aligns with the sex that they were assigned at birth. So, as part of my research, I found that LGBT students are less inclined towards STEM fields than the general population. And that's 23.6% versus the 34.3% of the general population. And this is according to a 2013 National School Climate Survey that's conducted about every 3 years by the Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network. I use this study a lot. I will just refer to it as GLSEN from now on. At Costa College, this population was also identified in the Student Equity Plan 2015-2018 as being disproportionately impacted. What disproportionate impact means is that this population is not equally represented on Costa College campus as they are in the community. And so what these numbers designate is the amount of disproportionate impact. So the closer to 1 you are, the better represented that this population is on campus, and the further away from 1 shows disproportionate impact. So despite this status, there is little to no data on this population, and in fact, the number of students affected and also how these students are affected are unknown. There were surveys implemented in 2015 at Costa College by San Diego State University. However, these surveys were really focusing on men of color, but we did get some data from that, and that was in basic skills of mathematics courses. So as you can see here, of the 581 respondents, the gay, lesbian, bisexual, non-conforming, and pansexual populations were more represented in basic skills mathematics than the general population. I do want to point out that pansexual isn't 100%. That's because there were only 3 respondents that identified as pansexual. I would also like to point out that they have non-conforming as a sexual orientation. It is actually a gender identity and or a gender expression. So there's some discrepancies there. Being placed in basic skills mathematics courses can be problematic in a number of ways. One of those ways is when a student sees that extra extended math sequence, that in and of itself can be a deterrent from majors that require many upper-level mathematics, like STEM majors. According to Dr. Bridget Herod, who is our data and research analyst at Costa College, she tracked these students, and here we see the results from that tracking, the pre-transfer math progression from fall 2011 to spring 2012, and again from fall 2014 to spring 2015. So what this graph is basically saying, of the 2,280 students that were placed in basic skills mathematics, only 341 students passed a transfer level math course. And as we look at the different levels, the blue line represents 3 levels below the transfer level math, and then the orangish reddish line is 2 levels below, and the gray line is 1 level below the transfer level math. And we kind of see a similar pattern where those who are placed in 3 levels below, over 50% of the cohort is lost before they even attempt the second sequence. And as we move along, like I said, we see similar patterns here. We've got 48% of the cohort, and here we have nearly 60% of the cohort is lost before they even attempt that second sequence. So of the 2,280 students that began in basic skills mathematics, only about 15% passed transfer level math. As I mentioned, there is a lack of data, and so every year Mira Costa College, we hold an awards ceremony known as the Gender Sexuality Alliance Awards, or GSA Awards. And I use this opportunity to implement my own surveys. So we had 77 students who attended, and about 65 of those completed the survey, which is about an 84.4% response rate, which is really good. And I disaggregated the information based on those who said that identified that they were interested in pursuing STEM as a major, and sexual orientation, and gender identity or gender expression. And whether we're looking at the two populations, we see kind of a similar pattern. They both said that about 29.2% of these populations said that they were interested in pursuing STEM as a major. So if you remember, that's just slightly higher than the national average of 23.6%. In my research, I conducted a root cause analysis, and I found really 3 root causes of why this problem occurs and why it persists. One of those is lack of representation lack of LGBTQIA+ representation in STEM, lack of institutional support, as well as issues of low self-esteem. So looking at lack of representation, Dr. Aaron A. Kesh at Rice University, using a 2013 Federal Viewpoint Survey, which surveyed 275,000 federal employees, they found that there were only about 2.7% of LGBT in federal STEM agencies. When compared to non-federal STEM agencies, there are about 3.1%, which suggests, or demonstrates rather, that LGBT are underrepresented in STEM agencies. I think it's also important to point out that federal agencies rather, have anti-discrimination hiring policies, and many businesses outside of federal agencies do not, so we can just imagine how this population fares in the regular business working world. Furthermore, as I mentioned, lack of institutional support is an issue. So we can see here, this is the 2013 GLSEN report, that support has direct benefits or direct benefits to a student's educational aspirations. So the red line represents LGBTQ students not planning to pursue post-secondary education, and the orange line are LGBTQ students not planning to graduate high school or are not sure whether they will graduate high school. And when we're looking at the 2 lines, we see pretty much a similar pattern. On the left are students that could not identify supportive staff members, and we see that there are 14.7% and 9.5% who said that they were not interested in pursuing post-secondary education and not sure whether they were going to graduate high school. And those numbers reduce dramatically when they can identify many supportive staff members, which here is defined as 11 or more. Those numbers are reduced to 4.5% rather, and 1.7% who said that they were not planning to pursue post-secondary education or planning to graduate high school. Supportive staff, being able to identify supportive staff members also has a positive benefit to a student's academic achievement. So using that same report, we can see that those students that could not identify supportive staff members had a mean GPA of 2.8, versus students who, again, could identify 11 or more staff members had a mean GPA of 3.3. So conversely, inclusion has benefits and can be a contributing factor to a student's choice of major. This is coming from the same GLSEN report that cited that LGBT high school seniors were twice as likely to be interested in a STEM major if they had been taught positive LGBT content in STEM-related classes in high school. So going back to my 3rd root cause of self-esteem, this comes from the same GLSEN report. So this graph is based on gender expression and sexual orientation. We kind of see similar patterns between the two. That students who experienced higher levels of victimization also had increased chances that they would suffer from periods of low self-esteem throughout their lives. And we see the opposite. Those who face lower levels of victimization are likely to experience lower levels of low self-esteem. So in my research, I identified 3 best or promising practices. And the first I want to highlight is Penn State Barron and their Fast Start mentoring program. So what they use is known as a Triad Mentoring structure, involving a first-year student, a faculty or staff member, and a Penn State alum. And they work together really to just get that first-year student to be able to access resources. And they also provide personal and academic mentoring as well. An article on Penn State's website said that 72% of the students in the program went on to graduate Penn State. The second practice I want to highlight is STEM City Philadelphia. And what this is, it's a citywide initiative that is meant to increase marginalized groups, students who are in marginalized groups into STEM. And they have a high-impact mentoring program. And so what this is mentor and mentee work for about a month, about 10 hours a month on a STEM project, and as well as increasing other STEM skills. They also work on intro to computers, online communication, writing, professional email, and digital literacy, just to name a few. The third and final practice I want to highlight is the National Organization of Gay and Lesbian Scientists and Technical Professionals, and their biannual career summit known as Out to Innovate. So as a career summit, what they do is they get what is graduating student access to things like resume building workshops. They have workshops within the career summit, keynote speakers, access to scholarships, and that sort of thing. I did notice in my research that there is a lack of an LGBTQIA+ specific STEM conference, which is really important when we're talking about lack of institutional support as well as lack of representation. And it's also important because I'm going to include it in my proposed project that will be implemented at MiraCosta in the fall of this year. So I'm really going to use a combination of the 3 best or promising practices, including the STEM conference. Creating that triad mentorship that I just discussed, involving an LGBTQIA+ high schooler, a faculty, staff, or STEM professional, and a MiraCosta student. And they will work together for a semester to create a STEM project that they will take to an LGBTQIA+ STEM conference. So I really think that this project addresses the 3 root causes that I highlighted: lack of representation of LGBTQIA in STEM, lack of institutional support, while simultaneously helping to relieve some of the low self-esteem that this community suffers from. Thank you.
All right, we have 3 minutes for questions. So if you have any questions, raise your hand.
Yes.
Sorry for my life. I was wondering what's the letter I and what's the plus?
So the I stands for intersex, and the plus is really kind of, because the acronym kind of keeps growing, so it really basically just means anyone who's not heterosexual or cisgender. You're welcome. Yes?
First, I want to say that I love this presentation. It was just so informative. And as a professor, this is really helpful information to have.
Yeah, awesome. Good.
Yeah, so thank you. I just had a question about the supportive staff slide, or the supportive staff information. Did you, in your research, were you, like, how is supportive staff identified? In other words, like, does that mean, yeah, just tell us what that is.
In a variety of ways. So supportive staff can be actually, I've had a one-on-one conversation with you, so I know that you are cool. But also it can be designated by safe space stickers.
Yeah.
It can be designated by resources and those that are involved in those resources. So for instance, if there is a community-specific mentoring program of that sort already on campus, by being in that program, that would be like supportive staff. So it's like a variety of supportive staff categories.
So, okay, and so like your program that you're going to implement at MiraCosta, obviously part of that triad is that everybody's going to have a supportive staff person, at least one, right?
Correct, yeah. So that's why it involves a staff, faculty, or STEM professional. So one of the things that I highlighted is that there's a lack of representation.
Yes.
So that's why I'm trying to keep the triad open. And that's why I suggest a staff, faculty, or STEM professional, because I realize trying to find out or allies who are available, that could be a potential potential issue with the project.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah.
I just want to say I also really did you study the effect of peer pressure, like support for LGBT people from their classmates? Like, do you think that has a measurable effect? If so, how do you plan to use that?
What do you mean by peer pressure?
Like, I know that there's, so when you do your survey, you look at supportive staff, like number of staff members, but like what about attitudes among the student body? Like what if the student body is, say, incredibly homophobic?
Right, okay, so like a welcoming environment? Absolutely. So one of the things that we see at Maricosta College, and I know that this is common in a lot of different areas, is that there are students, a lot of this information is anecdotal. Like I said, we don't have actual numbers, but anecdotally, we know that even students within Oceanside Unified School District, which is where Maricosta is housed, choose to go to other campuses because of the, I wouldn't say negative perception at Maricosta College, but because more of the welcoming perception at neighboring campuses. And they actually identify that as one of the causes of low representation or lack of representation on certain campuses, is because basically more welcoming environments on neighboring campuses are kind of taking those students, which plays out at Maricosta College as well. And the Listen report identified that as being one of the contributing factors. You're welcome. Yes?
I was just going to say, like, I really like the presentation too, and it looked like it was pretty tricky to get a lot of specific data on this stuff, but I really like how you focused on your campus and data that you were able to, like the research you were able to conduct, like where you are, because that's like really like how you're going to start anything. So
Right,
that's cool.
exactly. And so in 2000, are we done? Okay, cool.
If there's any more questions, we have
We're
time
done.
afterwards.